What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to another edition of MVP Sports Live right here on either twitch.tv or YouTube. I am joined, as I always am, with my beautiful co-host, Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
Dave, it is Fun Friday. It's not a complete football Friday, but how you doing today? Ending the week?
I'm starting to dread football Fridays. Right now, I can't give a shit about football because basketball is the it sport. It's popping off, Ricky. We had the draft, we had tampering, we had free agency.
Oh, it pains me to hear that because
shit about football.
I'm on the side where I love all the sports, Dave. The basketball's popping off, the football contests are getting entertaining.
Right now is not the time for me to love basketball. Right now is my basketball love.
Usually it should be, but basketball's fucking everything up by, starting
by just being the best sport year round. It's a year-round sport now.
Some would debate best sport, but it is a really good one. We got tons of basketball news to come in. We got football picks to make later on in the show. But before we get on into everything, the usual housekeeping we got, in case you're new, Discord. If you're not in it, you're behind the eight ball. Best community on the internet today. It's been popping off, especially for the NBA with all the free agent stuff going on. You can join that. Link down below if you're on YouTube or !Discord into Twitch chat is how you get that. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/MVPvids. That's how you go ahead and do that. Again, link down below or !Patreon into Twitch chat to get that link. And then we're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids. But we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports as well. And Dave, how we start off every Friday show, there was a game last night in the NFL. It was the Seahawks Cardinals. Really good matchup. Really important matchup, too, because the Cardinals, beginning of the year, did not expect them to be in this situation. They are now playing for their playoff lives. Ben in the Discord last night is like, holy shit, if we actually win this game, he's like, I'm just going to say it, we're 100% locked for the playoffs. Cardinals did not get it, though. They lose 28-21. It was a game-saving sack that needed to happen late in the game of Kyler Murray that kind of sealed the win for the Seahawks. And pretty much my big question from this one, Dave, is Seahawks retake the top spot in the NFC with this. The Saints, they're going to have to do what they do. The Packers are going to have to do what they do. But are the Seahawks, with all their issues that we've talked about, especially on defense, are they a for sure lock for the number one seed with BOIZ being out, Packers having a little bit of troubles as we're getting into the later season?
Nah, I can't say no to the Packers right now. Like, look, the Seahawks didn't even have a great game by any means. Mm-hmm. They won the game. Honestly, they won it on the back of a dumb penalty on the defense's end. Got a little angsty post play after you try to twist an ankle of a wide receiver, and you start some shit. DK Metcalf engages, and a swing was thrown, maybe, but hey, it was only an unsportsmanlike conduct. So we just take that, what would have been a fourth down, and instead it is a first down. Move them up. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. Tough one for the Cards. I mean, they had 3 chances to win it at the end, and they took shots at the end zone on every single one of them for some reason. That play calling made no sense to me.
Yeah.
So, honestly, a little bit confused. I think the Cardinals left a win on the field. Like, they had every opportunity to win that game, and if they played up to their best, they could have won that game. So, Seahawks got lucky on this one. It's sad because Russell Wilson, we all want him to be like the GOAT he started off the season as the MVP kind of guy, but is not that guy anymore.
Well, and that's why, I agree with you. For the Cardinals side of it, I think that they're in an interesting position because now they're one game ahead of everyone, and the Bears might be able to turn things around, but probably won't. The one I'm interested in, I don't know if this happens, and I'm even a Vikings fan saying this, but the rest of our schedule, except for a game against Tampa, and depending on if Drew Brees comes back for the Saints game, we get the Bears again, we get Jacksonville, we got Dallas this week, we've got the Lions one more time. There could be a spot where the Cardinals lose their playoff spot, but I'm not going to put money on it because that would mean the Bears, Vikings, or Lions would have to pick things up because the East ain't going to get a wild card spot. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
And for the Seahawks, I think it's I don't think there's a for sure favorite for the number 1 seed. I think it could change every week. Packers are in the running. Saints, we're going to see what happens without Drew Brees
Taysom
and
Hill
how long
starting
he'll be
QB.
out. Yeah, he's starting this week over Jameis Winston, although in fantasy, he's a tight end, also a quarterback, Dave. He's got the dual accreditation now on fantasy. So, I mean, I got a question about that real quick. If you start Taysom Hill at tight end, and he plays quarterback and throws a touchdown pass, that's like having 2 quarterbacks in your starting lineup, right? That is so stupid. That should not happen. Like,
I know, right?
I feel like there should be a designation if you play him at tight end. If he throws a touchdown pass or anything, doesn't count. It's only it's like you treat him like a tight end. You don't treat him like a quarterback.
The problem is that everybody gets that opportunity, because what happens when we have like wildcat, or what happens when we have a toss back, and then all of a sudden,
See, the rushing, that can stay, because like,
no, I'm saying like they toss it back to a running back and the running back throws down the field, or they toss it to a wide receiver. And that play happens. Now, Taysom Hill could be a double quarterback for you out there. That is a genius move, Ricky.
I hate it.
Fans. If you have Taysom Hill, or if you have a weak tight end, go get Taysom Hill. Put him in at tight end.
For all you people that are going to start Taysom Hill at tight end, I hope he gets benched. And that's me coming from me hating Jameis Winston. But Dave, the first section of the show is basketball, and free agency has started. It's been an hour.
Breaking news.
Do we? What is it?
A superstar just signed with the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, it's from Twitch chat. Yeah.
Ja's coming home.
Ja's going to the Pistons. Plumlee signed with the Pistons. How long is that Okafor deal? Or are you just seeing that from Twitch chat like I am?
2 year.
Okay, 2 years. So I think Plumlee's was a 3 year. But they also get Okafor as well. The first thing I want to talk about, though, Dave, Gordon Hayward, because the news coming out as free agency open, Dave, is that he is lasered in. He wants to go to the Pacers. However, there's a little bit of an issue of how this is going to happen, because, like you said in Discord, just sign outright. Fuck the Celtics kind of a situation. But there are talks of a sign and trade where Gordon Hayward would re-sign a contract with the Celtics, and then they would trade Hayward. The price that the Pacers want to give up is Turner and McDermott. The Celtics and Danny Ainge are saying, no, we want Turner and then either TJ or Oladipo. Obviously, that second one's not going to happen. The Pacers are not smoking anything. They're not doing crack or heroin. They're laser focused. They want the best deal. How do you see a Gordon Hayward to Indy? And in the end, is Indy the for sure spot if that's where he's lasered in on?
I mean, it's a shame he's lasered in there, because I think he would just go take the bag from New York, and that would be a great answer. And he'd be a great mentor for that New York team. But because he wants to play in Indy, because he wants to do that shit, and they don't have the money to sign him outright, they have to do the sign trade. I think it does land with the McDermott deal. There might be a pick involved or something, but I think that Here's the thing, TJ Warren, sacrilege here, but you got him for free. So I don't know if it's necessarily the worst thing in the world if you give him up in a trade. Again, he is a bucket getter, but he's not a defender. Yes, he's incredibly efficient. He wrecks second units out there. But do you think that he will be bubble TJ Warren for the entire next season? Because I don't.
Yeah, I mean, we even have, I have the same question about even like the Suns, where everyone wants to take the 8-0 bubble performance. It's like, let's see how they even come into the year. Like the TJ Warren one, I just feel like because of what he meant to the team, why I feel like the Pacers don't want to move him, because they feel like he can be bubble TJ Warren. And I kind of think of it, I thought for, like you said, the Knicks, when we were talking about Hayward yesterday, I was kind of getting a little fuzzy with the Atlanta Hawks thing, because I was like, ooh, that'd be really good. That. They bring in fucking Hayward. They bring in Rondo. They really get guys that can help them win now with Trae Young. Perhaps Bogdanovich. And like the Pacers, to me, I think of if they add Hayward, let's say they're losing Turner. Let's say it's Turner and Warren, for example. Yep. How does that either help or hurt? Because it could hurt, but I would say help the Pacers, because in a playoff series, is Gordon Hayward going to help you in a 7-game series against the Raptors, against the Celtics, against the Heat, against the Bucks, against these teams that you're going to see? Because the Pacers are in an interesting position of you either get a guy like Gordon Hayward to add with Oladipo, or you trade Oladipo and you kind of enter a rebuild, or a retooling around Sabonis, I would say.
Hey, Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon are the heart of the team now. Victor Oladipo doesn't mean shit to anybody. He's dead to me.
Okay. He's dead to me.
You can't plan around an injured star. Oladipo's an injured star. Gordon Hayward's an injured star. Can't do it, won't do it. So it's just the upside. It's, hey, if he can keep his shit together and be healthy, that's a massive improvement to have someone who is kind of a really well-rounded player, two-way player like Gordon is, be huge for them. Because, again, Malcolm Brogdon's not the guy who's going to go out there and score 30 a night for you.
Yeah.
They've got that coming from other places out there. So I look at this team as they're looking to find that balance of, we need someone who can kind of provide it in a pinch. We can get some offense out of him. We can get some facilitation. We can get some rebounding. Gordon kind of does a little bit of everything. Doug's a sharpshooter. If we lose him, it sucks, but we'll live because we're adding in kind of an all-around player in Gordon Hayward.
And it's funny you bring up the injuries. I didn't even think about that. Should the Pacers? This is going to sound like a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Should the Pacers not want to sign Gordon Hayward because they have Oladipo, who injury history? We'll even see if he stays healthy this year. You're then going to add in Gordon Hayward, who has also had an injury history as well. Is it even smart for the Pacers to be like, yes, we want Gordon Hayward?
Yeah, the Pacers, you're a small market team. You have to take a shot on that. I don't think they have much of a choice. If you have someone who's interested in coming to your team via free agency / sign and trade, you take that opportunity because you are not a destination. People don't want to go there. So if you get a chance to land somebody who has upside like that, yes, there's equal risk, but hey, it's going to be worth it for them one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers, like you said, the small market teams, you got to fight for it. I think this gets done with the Turner, McDermott, and picks. I don't think Warren might be talked about. Oladipo's probably off the Pacers are like, no, we're keeping him. He's an untouchable. I don't think Warren gets added into the deal. I think it's the Turner, McDermott, and then whatever picks the Celtics from the Pacers. Before we move on, I'll let you agree, disagree.
I think a second round pick, maybe.
Okay, second round pick.
I wouldn't give him much.
Could it be multiple seconds or just 1 second?
I don't fucking know.
Dave's like, whatever. They're second round picks.
I want Hayward to sign elsewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Knicks
to sign outright with the Knicks.
Talked about the Hawks, talked about the Heat, but they signed Dragic, so that makes it complicating. The other big free agent, we didn't get news of him signing. A lot of the articles today were like, oh, it's highly likely that he re-signs with the Raptors, but Fred VanVleet, the only news we have right now is Shams went on Twitter on the Athletic kind of free agency show, and he said that Fred VanVleet plans to meet with multiple teams tonight and tomorrow. Didn't give a list of teams, so it kind of makes it hard. We're kind of speculating what teams that may be. It may be the Hawks, it may be the Knicks, it may be these teams that we're talking about for Hayward. But in your mind, Dave, what teams do you think are trying to get a meeting besides the Raptors with Fred VanVleet either tonight or tomorrow?
I'd love to see the Magic get involved. I think he would be an excellent two-guard for them going forward. They could use him. Money, obviously, whatever. But outside of that, again, I'm for whatever reason all on the East Coast on my thoughts. I really like him to the Knicks. Again, I really like him to the Hawks, like you mentioned. If he stays home, that's okay. Out west, I mean, if Bogdanovich is leaving the Kings, sure. But they did just go ahead and get didn't you say they had used up some cap space with Whiteside?
They are, so that's the next thing we're going to talk about. They're interested in Whiteside. They may be signing Whiteside. So that would eat, if they signed Whiteside, that would eat up cap space.
Yeah. No, I would love them. Again, maybe it's a guard overload over there with Hallie and Buddy and maybe Bogdanovich coming back. Maybe him not. We'll see. So, but no, I just like a lot of the East Coast teams for Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say like I want to say, oh man, I hate to agree, but like I look at the West and it's like if you go down it, Warriors are out, Lakers are going to look for MLE guys because they don't have the cap. Clippers are out, Denver's out, like even like Houston, OKC, Utah, Dallas, Portland, all of those teams are not. Like the Phoenix Suns just got CP3. They're not looking for a point guard. And really the only two teams, and the only one I don't know about is how much cap room off the top of my head that the Pelicans have. Pelicans would be an interesting team if they do have money, especially if they're going to try to move on from. Yep.
So as long as they sign him after, like they signed beyond BI last, they'll be fine. They can go over with the max contract, season RFA.
Yeah, I mean, that to me would be an interesting one, especially like we talk about what's the future of Lonzo Ball there. Fucking Drew's not in town anymore. Put Fred VanVleet in there instead. Have maybe Fred, maybe have a lineup of like Fred. I don't know, like JJ. Would JJ start or is he still going to be a bench guy? Because like he was kind of.
I hate to say it.
Okay.
He's still a shooting guard to me.
Okay.
Like he's a shooting guard who has the ability to play point at times, but like he's better at the two. I see their lineup if they want for him. It would definitely still be Zoe, Fred, BI, Zion, mystery box. Like obviously Zion 45.
We hope Hayes, like Pelican fans hope it's going to be Jackson Hayes.
I can't say it until I see him. Like I haven't seen Hayes in like I don't know how long. So until I see him work out,
and also we don't know what kind of an immediate impact Kyra Lewis Jr. will have because they did draft him. So like, is he going to be the starter day one, a point guard starter day one? Is he going to be like the Kobe White treatment?
Right now?
I think we got to see how he plays. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Where it's like I'm not shooting it down. That's the thing because like I like Lonzo. I'm a Lonzo guy. But like if Lewis goes out there and he's fucking on fire, like you could kind of have it to where you go ahead and see that like okay we've got Lewis, then Fred VanVleet, B.I. Williamson, then hopefully Hayward. Or not Hayward, I'm thinking fucking Hayes is what I meant to say. Hayes down low. But like other than that, it's really the East teams. To me though, I look at it and I go, I kind of agree with the blog boys and say that I kind of see a Raptors return just imminent because I don't see Milwaukee, Boston, Indy, Philly, Brooklyn, none of those teams are going to be in the hunt. Even the Heat, with them re-signing Goran Dragic, towards basically, in my mind, it's going to be, are the Hawks interested? Are the Knicks interested? Maybe the Magic, like you said, that'd be an interesting one. But really, it's Knicks, Hawks, and then Raptors are my race.
Yeah.
And it's really where does Fred see his pairing with Trey? How much money does New York offer? And then, really, if he doesn't like any of those two offers, boom, we'll go ahead and go to Toronto. Now, there could be something when Sham says multiple teams. There could be a team that we said no that meets with him and works out a sign and trade deal, kind of like what Boston and Indy are kind of doing.
Yep.
But I'm not going to like speculate on that. Like it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. But I think Toronto is where it just ends up happening. In the end, go ahead. You were going to say something.
You mentioned the Magic. I just saw Magic guard news.
Okay.
Long-term project, Karim Maine signed a 2-way deal with the Magic. So shout out to our boy Sean.
Yeah.
We did a whole episode on Karim Maine.
That's who I'm like, why does that name sound familiar? Now I remember it.
So, it'll be, I mean, again, long boy. I think he's like 6'5" with a 7-foot wingspan. A lot of potential, athletic. We'll see what they do down there. But maybe Fred VanVleet's not in the future. And
the two-wayness of that contract will probably be plays in the G League, and then if he's playing well enough, bump him up.
100%.
Next thing, you mentioned it with the Kings, Dave. There was a tweet today. Shams, I believe, was the source of it. It was either Shams or Woj, one of the two. That the Kings apparently have interest in Isaiah Whiteside. And to me, this was one to where I'm like, all right, let's see where it goes here. Because, like, the Kings, if Bogdan is gone, which it seems like he is going to be gone, Milwaukee...
They seem to have burned that bridge.
Yeah, it seems to be he's not coming back. He's not going to Milwaukee. From what I've seen there is the Bucks are looking elsewhere. It looks like he ain't coming back to the Kings. There might be a sign-and-trade deal happening because of the RFA-ness of his deal. But what do you make of the Kings having interest in Isaiah Whiteside and bringing him in to this Kings roster?
To which Whiteside?
Isaiah Whiteside?
No.
Am I fucking up the name?
Hassan
Whiteside. I'm like, why am I thinking his name's Isaiah?
Whitehead?
Whiteside. That's what I'm thinking. Whitehead. Hassan. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Dave. I'm like, wait, am I fucking up that name? Hassan Whiteside. What does he mean to the Kings? Same question, just different first name.
Kings dumpster fire. Don't give a shit. Like, I'm sorry, Kings fans. You guys are in fucking limbo. You did just get De'Aaron Fox to agree to a 5-year, $163 million max extension with a clause to reach the full 195 super max. That just happened. That's the one. I don't give a shit about Whiteside right now. Mm-hmm. That is huge for them. They locked up De'Aaron Fox. Good move. Thank you. Like, there's some good faith for you. You shit the bed with the Bogdan deal. It looks like you're screwing up by letting Harry Giles go, because I love Harry. Mm-hmm. And again, you love fucking power forwards so much. So, like, just cram your team with bigs. You need a wing, and yet you don't get it. So good on you for going out, locking down your best player in De'Aaron Fox. Like, credit to you. That's the one thing they had to do this offseason.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the De'Aaron Fox thing, it needed to be done, but like free agency wise, you say they need wings. Are there any wings out there that you think they should target over Whiteside? Because, like, if they bring,
I think that's Gordon Hayward.
Is that because Hayward is locked in on Indy? Like,
maybe.
Or is it something of like, could the Kings come in and say, hey man, we know you want to play in Indy, but we got this money we can throw at you, and you get to play with De'Aaron Fox, and you get to play with Buddy Hield, and you get to play with Marvin Bagley. Like, could that be enticing to a Gordon Hayward?
Probably not. I'll be honest, probably not. Like, yeah, he would. There's hope there, but I don't think that that's the team he wants to be on, because he's not potentially the center. And this is going to sound greedy, but like, he didn't like the fact that he became the fourth option in Boston, and he would not be the first option in Sacramento because that's De'Aaron Fox. And then the second option might honestly be like a Buddy Hield, because his shots are so efficient from three. It's like, you can't pass up on that. So he might be a third option there. So I don't know if he would want to do that. Gallo, I know Gallo's been tied to a couple teams already. That one will be interesting. Bertans, they already have. Belizio, they re-signed him. Don't know why. Jeremy Grant, they should have made a play on. He's not 100% locked in to the Nuggets return, but it does seem extremely likely at this point. I don't know. There's Marooks even would have been good for them. Like, again, I think the problem is you got to find players who want to play in Sacramento. Derek Jones, low-key, still available. Would love to see him play. I would love to get him, but love to see him sign with another team. Like, there are wings out there who they could go after.
I mean, then the thing, like you say, like, you got to find someone who wants to play in Sacramento, and I think that's one of the reasons why Whiteside could be or is a target of the Kings, because one of the things going into the draft, we didn't think they would draft a center because there were no centers up there, but like, you look at everything about the Kings, it was they need a center. They need someone next to Bagley, and I wonder if Whiteside's role and the starting minutes that he got in Portland last year, if that's the reason why the Kings are interested in him now, because he got to play more minutes, started games because Nurk Dog was out. And now is that why the Kings are like, hey, we need a center. He might be someone that not a lot of teams are looking to throw money at.
Yeah, he's a bad player who can stuff the stat board. Like, statistically, that's what he is. That's all he has ever been. Is just a box score monster and an on paper negative. Like, Sorry. I like the idea of Rashawn Holmes and Bagley at the 5 sharing time.
Okay.
But they think that Bagley somehow is a 3. So, you know what? Luke Walton going to Luke Walton out there.
And we'll even see how long does Luke Walton keep that job, because Alvin Gentry's on that bench now. Like we said, Monty McNair brought in Alvin Gentry. I think he's getting fired anytime soon. The other signing, though, Dave, that has happened, we've seen some recently, like Jordan Clarkson, 4-year deal with the Jazz, $52 million. Patrick Patterson returning to the Clippers on a 1-year deal. The first re-signing that kind of broke the news was Goran Dragic, and this was one where many people thought, okay, this was assumed that he was coming back. In my sense, we were talking about of like, he's probably going to come back, but it wasn't like an 100% thing in my mind. But he is back. I think it's a 2-year deal, $37.4 million. And for the Miami Heat, I mean, this goes into it of like, maybe now they're not going to be in the running for Gordon Hayward. Maybe it was we know Gordon Hayward's not interested in us.
Yeah.
So we're going to look somewhere else.
Them and passed. So.
Yeah. To where the Heat just running it back, basically. Like, this is a good sign, to me, good signing for the Heat. Can he stay healthy? Because if he's healthy, this team is going to be just as good as they were last year.
Shit, they can be better than last year. Another year under Tyler Hero. A little bit more as far as adding in a Precious Achua, someone who can come and be physical on other teams' wings and cause some pressure maybe. I like the team. I think that, again, if they were healthy going into the finals and playing the whole finals out, could have seen a good series. In the end, they just put up whatever they could, and it kind of sucked a little, but they'll be fine. They'll be a top Eastern Conference team come playoff time. I don't know if they're going to finish top 4, but I don't think that matters for them.
No, they were 6th? They were the 6th seed this year, right? Like, or am I thinking, or were they 5? I'll look it up.
They faced they might have been 5.
I think they were either 5 or 6. Let's see, NBA. Yeah, they were the 5th seed. Yeah. So, that was right. That was coming down. It was them and the Sixers, and then they finished a game ahead of the Sixers. That's why. The Sixers were 6th and played Boston in the first round. That's why I was excited for that. So, yeah, like they were the 5th seed last year, could have been the 6th seed, and still could have went as far as they did last year. Dragic, good deal for the Heat. We'll see what they do. And then, Dave, kind of before we go into football, just a general, is there anything that is free agency that we haven't talked about? Any of the deals that we haven't touched that you think we should touch? Speculation things of guys, where they could go? Anything you want to touch in free agency?
I think the Christian Wood situation we're keeping an eye on. Is he the breakout monster we saw at the end of last season, or is he just a good player on a shit team with the Pistons last year, like who got a lot of touches and a lot of usage? Do you think he has value out there for teams?
I think so it's a tricky question. I think he has value out there. Teams will want to sign him, but I kind of think too when the Jump kind of put up the ranking of free agents, and you heard out of Richard Jefferson's mouth, wow, not a good free agency class when Christian Wood is the 3rd overall free agent.
That's according to some people. I would say Anthony Davis, Brandon Ingram, and Jason Tatum, Gallo, like Gordon Hayward, like those are all free agents.
I mean,
Serge Ibaka, like Christian Wood wasn't 3. Hey, that's some dumb rank. That's some ESPN.
I'm pulling up their list.
Up shit right there.
I'm pulling up their list to see if it was just unrestricted or not.
Oh, if it was unrestricted free.
I'm gonna see. It was on their preview that they did before the draft even. But like even with that, it's like I think Christian Wood, it's more of I think it was the second option, so I'm gonna say the latter of he was on the Pistons. The Pistons were a bad team. Like, could he give value to a good team? Yes. He's not like a dumpster fire kind of a player, but I think that what we saw in Detroit was because he got so many minutes, and because that team was a bad team.
It literally had no one who could score the basketball. It was him and Kennard.
Exactly. To where I feel like I'm almost like this. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I want to shit on him more than praise him for the time in the Pistons.
Yeah. Tough break for you, Ricky. Chimezie Metu was waived by the Spurs.
Damn. Someone will pick him up, though. Someone will pick him up.
He a G Leaguer for
He'll
life.
go play. He'll go. Not for life. You never know for life. Why can't I find it? I can't fucking find it.
Favors sounds like he's deciding between the Pelicans or Jazz, which should be real interesting.
Which one do you think he should sign with?
I mean, I think he should go back to the Pelicans.
Okay.
I mean,
Sean's
the
boy.
thing that kills me is I want to trust Jackson Hayes, but I don't trust Jackson Hayes. Not yet. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they should just go all in with him, and that'll be fine. But
yeah,
part of me still thinks that they need muscle.
This is according to Kevin Pelton, how he had his top free agents this offseason.
Sure.
I'm going to go from 10 to 1. Number 10, Hassan Whiteside. Number 9, Derek Jones Jr. Number 8, Danilo Gallinari. Number 7, Malik Beasley, RFA. Number 6, Bogdan Bogdanovic, RFA. Number 5, I think his first name's Davis Bertrands. Number 4, Brandon Ingram, RFA. Number 3, Christian Wood. Number 2, Fred VanVleet. Number 1, Anthony Davis, player option.
In what world is Brandon Ingram behind Christian Wood and Fred VanVleet? We're talking about KD Light over here. And you're saying that he's behind Christian fucking Wood? That man deserves to have his fucking credentials pulled. Yank him. Get him off the air. He doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
Dave going after Kevin Pelton, man.
Kevin Pelton looks like an idiot on national TV. I'm trying to help the guy out.
Hey, man, some people have different rankings.
Like that.
Some people think that Christian Wood has potential, Dave. I don't see it. I think it was just being on a bad team.
Yeah, sure. Brandon Ingram was just like the third best wing in the NBA for a chunk of time there, but no big deal.
Do you think it's
Christian Wood, the real guy, though?
Do you think it's because people might think that the 1 year in New Orleans could have been a fluke for BI? Because we didn't see it at all before this year.
We did see it leading into that 1 year. We did see the post LeBron piece of games where he played the exact same as he did in New Orleans. So no, that's who he is. If you scheme around BI, he can put up like 25, 5, and 5 easy on really good shooting splits. The dude can create for himself. He can make shots. He can go to the rack. He just needs to learn to defend, and he will be a all-around star.
Also, did you hear what Paul Pierce reported today on The Jump, Dave?
Sure. What did he say?
The headline of the YouTube video, because it's going to get views, Paul Pierce reports Lakers will pursue Bogdanovic when free agency opens in a few hours. How are they going to have the fucking money, Dave?
Money.
How are they going to have the money for that? That's my question.
They can pursue anyone they want. They don't get the money to pay him.
Yeah, I mean...
They offered Dwight a $3 million deal, and he hasn't even taken it yet.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, Woj said that Dwight Howard hasn't said anything yet. And then, Woods is an overpay. Ingram's all-star season was not a fluke. I agree with that. I think Brandon Ingram in New Orleans is going to do really nice things.
He's like half a notch behind JT.
What?
He's like half a notch behind JT.
Good point. Yeah, he is. I would say that. Any final thoughts before we move on into football, Dave?
No, basketball's best sport.
Dave, before we do move on into our picks, one wet boy for today. And if you want to pick a wet boy, these are the dampest of dudes, saggest of yours, sometimes the moistest of men, and really sometimes the mistiest of misses. These are our best players from the day or the weekend leading into the show. Usually how it goes, Dave gives a wet boy, I give a wet boy, the patrons give a wet boy. Today, just one wet boy. That's how it goes some days. And it is myself giving the wet boy, Dave. It is from the college ranks. It is not Maction. It was American Conference action, and I got to give it to Zaven Collins. And here's a little story with this one, Dave, why I was talking to Soapy, saw the game happen, I was like, that's my wet boy, is because Tulsa in their game against Tulane first needed a Hail Mary to force overtime. So right there alone, I'm like, okay, a wet boy could be coming from this game. Not only that, Dave, Collins had an interception in overtime, took it 94 yards to the house.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Won the game. So I'm like, you know what? You get a 94-yard interception after your team forces overtime on a Hail Mary, I think you deserve a wet boy. So Collins, congratulations. Coming from the college ranks today. I know some people might be saying Russ might have gotten snubbed. Kyler might have gotten snubbed. But Collins, you do great things. You get a wet boy. And Dave, that leads us into what we do every Friday. We've got football games to pick. There are 13 games on the docket. 14 if you counted Thursday's game on the docket for this one. Bears have the bye.
Jazz and Favors agreed to a 3-year, $27 million deal. So he did officially sign with them.
So that means the Pelicans lose Favors. He's going to Favors has never played. And they lost Ja. So they lose Ja. They lose Favors. We're talking about a team that might need bigs. They're going ahead and losing big. So that could be huge for the... Damn, what do the fucking Pelicans do now? I don't even know. We're talking about is Hayes the guy. And now they go ahead and they lose Favors. You said they lost Ja, obviously. He goes to the Pistons.
They didn't even play Ja really last year.
But still, he's not on the roster now. Not even the option to play him. So, that's interesting. But football, we got 13 games to pull up the rankings of where we are. Dave's in first, but I should fucking say how many wins we got because Dave likes to hear how right he is.
Sometimes.
Let's see, the MVP pick sheet. So, last week, kind of a down week for both of us, Dave.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
I went 7-7, kept it even. Dave went 8-6, so he gained yet another game on me like he needed one. Overall, I am in second place. I am 94, 51, and 1. Dave is 101, 44, and 1. And here's the thing I want to say, Dave, that I kind of thought about today.
Sure.
That commenter that commented about how bad our picks are, he's been living in my head rent-free, Dave. And the reason why is, I thought about this today. I'm like, Dave's at 101 right. I'm at 94 right. I watch NFL Network live every Sunday morning, and I see guys like Rich Eisen and Mooch at like 84 right now. It's like, how can you bitch at me when the actual experts are lower than us? Like, that's what I'm saying. Going into last week, they were like 80. I think 84 was the low one in the clubhouse. Heading in.
So I'm keeping up with the pros?
We are keeping up with the pros, Dave. That is for sure. I'll have to double check it going into this week where theirs are and where we rank with them. But I think Michael Irvin was top of the list when it came to picks. But Dave, we've got 13 games. The first one, this was an easy one for me, only because of a point you brought up last week. We got the Eagles going into Cleveland. Cleveland is a 3-point favorite. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just had to look at the records, Browns facing a team that has a sub-500 record, which means Browns should do really well. Now, I know literally nothing about the state of the game. Nick Chubb is back and healthy, and that should scare the shit out of them. So, Nick Chubb, good backfield. Still, they found wide receivers. I think the Odell Beckham loss has been minimized completely. I'm at the point where I'm like, I know they miss him as a person, but the production, not really a problem here. So I'm taking the Browns.
The only thing, and this was updated by Adam Schefter today, the only nugget that was big news is Myles Garrett will not be playing. Yeah. He was put on the reserve COVID list. Schefter said today he is out for Sunday. Even with him out, I don't think this is a big deal. Browns with the win. Like you said, Dave, Baker blows out bad teams. If you have a below 500 record, there's one quarterback that can beat you in the league, and that's Baker Mayfield. Browns with the win in this one, and I don't even expect it to be close. I'm going to say, let's see. How many points are the Browns averaging? Let's go with, the Browns offense has been 16 and 10 points lately.
Yeah, they've not moved the ball well enough, but
I'm going to go they get 27-21. Not as big as a blowout as I was originally going to go, but Browns with the win on that one. Then, Dave, the second game, we mentioned at the beginning, Taysom Hill. He is starting. The Falcons 3-5, the Saints 7-2. Some people are shocked that Jameis Winston is not getting the start that Taysom is. Saints are a 3.5 point favorite.
It's not a confirmed rumor. We don't know.
So you think Jameis might trot out there? Is this a smokescreen, Dave?
Sean Payton ain't said shit. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I don't believe that Jameis doesn't take a snap this game. If you're a betting man, I will bet Jameis over one snap this game.
I mean, yeah, if they're down 24-0 going into halftime, Jameis comes and starts the second half.
I mean,
you can bet on that.
Yeah. Well, the rumor was there aren't even packages for Jameis Winston, and I'm like, in what world is that like a good idea? Like, I think Sean Payton's an idiot. I don't think Sean Payton's an idiot. I don't think that's a game plan they went into the week with.
If there's if there's no packages, then like why even have him on the team?
Yeah, that's dumb. Regardless, I'm not taking the Saints either. I think that as good as Alvin Kamara is, and I know he's good, the Falcons can't fuck this one up, can they?
Same thing. I'm like, no Drew Brees. Fucking excellent for the
Teddy Bridgewater was very good for them last year. I don't know that
Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston do not equal Teddy Two Gloves.
Jameis can throw for 1 billion yards on him. That's my fear. Is like I think Jameis Winston can win this game.
He can actually see the wide receivers.
So with that said, I'll take the Falcons. Looks like you're taking the Flacons.
Yeah, I misspelled it. I'm taking the Falcons though.
I like the Flacons.
The Flacons. Like, this is the thing of, like, no Drew Brees, either Winston or Taysom Hill. Start whichever one. Neither of them are Teddy Two Gloves. I didn't even think Teddy Two Gloves could do what he did last year, coming off of the injury and stuff. So, like,
he just didn't lose.
For me, this one's easy. No Drew Brees. That means it's a good problem for the Saints to have if you're a Falcons fan. See red, fly high, whatever the saying is for the, I think it's like something red. It's like ours for the Bulls, like see red or something. But yeah, okay. Falcons with the win. Then, Dave, a match that I didn't know how to pick, but then my heart stepped in and said, no, bro, you ain't fucking this one up. Bengals and the Washington football team, which before we get into the game, Dave, there are rumors that the Washington football team are just considering staying as the Washington football team forever. Is that a smart move? Good move?
I still like FCDC.
Yes.
Or DCFC.
Yes, the fucking Pat McAfee one. I like that too.
DC Football Club would have been sick. DCFC, still rooting for it. Yeah. But Washington football team, yeah, why not? I don't. At least it doesn't defend anyone.
Yeah.
Like that's, hey.
I love how it's Sam that wants the Washington Commandos. And then there was a little GIF joke in our Discord because someone threw out the Washington Rednecks. Which would be an interesting name. I don't think they go with that one, though. But besides the point, Bengals, Washington. Washington is a 1.5 point favorite? Is that just because of how bad the Bengals' O-line is and record alone?
And
because
Washington can get at quarterbacks. And let's be honest, Alex Smith can sling a ball.
Okay.
Alex Smith can sling a ball. He looked pretty decent last week. Let's be honest. He can throw it still. I don't care what his body's made of. He survived everything, and he can still throw the ball. But I can't take him as favorites here. I can't believe that the Bengals are the dogs. I'll take the Bengals 100% in this game.
I'm taking the Cardiac Cats as well, and I know that some people, we didn't talk fantasy today, but here's a fantasy nugget for you guys. Giovanni Bernard, if he is available and you need a running back because you got someone on the bye, go pick him up. Go pick him up.
Shit.
Yeah, Joe Mixon not playing.
Sorry, Joe, I drafted you.
Whenever I've picked up Bernard in the off weeks for Mixon, he's done great things. Washington, yes, they have a good pass rush with Chase Young, but I think Bernard gets it done. Burrow slings it. Alex Smith looks good. Bengals with the win, though. This next game, Lions, Panthers. According to Vegas, they don't have a line right now, so let's see if ESPN. The line that they're showing is Detroit -2. This was one I'm going with the Panthers, but there's a part of me that goes, is this another game where it's like the Lions are down by halftime, Pat McAfee's crew makes the joke that Matt Patricia is applying for jobs at halftime, and then the Lions come back and win it?
I like the Lions in this matchup. Just with the Panthers not having 100% guarantee on Teddy Bridgewater, it's hard to pick them. Christian McCaffrey not playing. I mean, you're out your two best players then. How can I pick your team? I can't do it, won't do it. I'll take the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to... This is one where I'm going on the other side. I am going with the Panthers. This is a team that has talent on it. Yes, I know Matt Stafford's on the other side, but the Lions are not a good football team this year. The Panthers have proven to me they are not what their record shows. They are a better football team than the Lions. I am going to go with the Panthers, and whenever I go with the Panthers, that means the other team wins because the Panthers just hate me, Dave. They hate me so much.
That's why I can't do it anymore, man.
Dave's like, whenever Ricky picks the Panthers, I just got to pick the other team.
Liking the Panthers, and I was like, well, this was a horrible decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes my picks don't pay dividends. The next game, Dave, Steelers-Jaguars. The Steelers are a 10.5-point favorite.
Is that enough?
Here's the question, though, and this is why Big Ben, fantasy-wise, should have a good game. I am questioning it, though, because the Steelers on two fronts. Number one, what you say, they play down to opponents they're clearly better than. Number two, this has been said on every analyst everywhere, that in the last few games, the Steelers just start slow. They start the game slow. They pick it up later. I have Tua. I have Big Ben, Dave. Should I be afraid to play Big Ben as the Steelers play the Jaguars?
I'd play Tua.
Or am I overthinking it?
I'd play Tua.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. Thinking.
Denver sucks even more.
Good point.
Jacksonville's bad on the record, but Jacksonville puts up a fight. Mm-hmm. Denver has problems, and Drew Lock might not even be good. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I will take the Steelers in this matchup, but I'll take the Steelers in the matchup. I don't know if it's a blowout or not because the Steelers play down.
Yeah.
They really do. So I can't trust them to blow it out. So I still like them to win, but I don't know how close of a game it will be.
Like the Bengal game, score-wise, 36-10 didn't look close. But like Dallas was a close game. Baltimore was a close game. Tennessee, like Baltimore, Tennessee better than the Jaguars. Really, it's that Dallas game. It's like, well, you're on the road again. You almost lost to Dallas. The Jaguars are better than Dallas, in my mind. Dallas is the only reason Dallas has a better record is Dak played 2 games and won them 2 games. I'm not going to pick the Jaguars, but I am nervous about this could be a close game when we're like, oh shit, should be a blowout. But there's no way I can pick against the Steelers in this one. So got to go with the Steel City. Then, Dave, the 2 teams that I mentioned with those Steelers that they had close games against, Titans going into Baltimore, playing the Ravens. Ravens are a 6-point favorite. -6 is the line. What are your thoughts with this one? You going with Lamar? You going with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry?
I'll take Tannehill. They don't turn the ball over, and that has been their saving grace. Even though they've not been great as of late, they do not turn it over. This is going to be a game of possession. It will be Derrick Henry versus the trio of runners that Baltimore has. So even though I think the Ravens might be a better team, I think the Titans are due for this win. I think that they've got the ball control, and they will be really good about not handing the ball off to the Baltimore Ravens. So I think it'll be a clean game. It'll be a boring game. It'll be a lot of running, a lot of time possession from both teams. So Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go the Ravens, and mainly because this was one to where I'm like, can I just pick a tie? Do I have to pick a winner in this one? Because I am not confident in either of these teams. The Ravens have had a game that they should have won, if that makes sense, against the Steelers. Like that was a game that was for their picking. They fell up short. The Patriots did not know Bill Belichick could control the weather, but like still, that was a game I thought that they should have won against the Patriots. But you look at the Titans too, losing against the Steelers, losing against the Bengals, losing against the Colts, and probably should have lost against the Bears if the Bears offense wasn't worse than the Jets offense. Like
Steelers are the best team in football.
If the Bears offense was a little bit better, okay, then take that one off. But you lose against the Bengals, the Colts, who, yes, the defense is good, but like the offense is inconsistent.
Aren't the Colts like 6 wins, 7 wins?
They are 6 wins, but it's one of those things where every time someone tells me like, yeah, they're a really strong team.
The Titans lost to good teams. They didn't lose to a shit team except for the Bengals.
But the offense has not looked good to me. The offense hasn't looked good
Derrick
since
Henry
what we've seen
churning.
before. I don't know. I'm not confident on the Titans. I'm going to go with the Ravens to get the win. Might bite me in the butt, but who cares? I'm down by X amount of games anyways, Dave. Got to try to win them back any way I can. Another game where I was like, can I pick the tie? Patriots, Texans. Patriots are a 2-point favorite. Like, this is one where I'm like, I want to pick the Patriots. I want to think they're good. They won last week. But then it's like, whenever this is another team where it's like, whenever I'm all in on the Patriots, I pick the Patriots. Yes, they're going to win. They lose. What are you thinking with this one?
I coin flipped it.
Okay.
No logical reason. I literally went, hey, Ricky, can the Texans stop the run? And you're like, and I'm like, good enough for me. I'll take the Texans.
Good enough for me.
They could be the worst run defense in the league, but I just went off your side right there, Ricky, and that's where I put my faith at.
Yeah,
so I'll take the Texans in this matchup purely for the funsies.
I mean, the one thing that people are talking about, and this is why coming into this game I am going to take the Patriots, is Damian Harris. In fantasy, people are talking about, is he a RB1? And there were a lot of analysts that were saying could have a good week this week against.
He's been on a roll since he came back.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I gotta go with the Patriots. But like I said, the Patriots and the Panthers, maybe it's the P teams. Whenever I pick them, they just go, "Oh, Ricky picked us. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose just for him because he picked us." But yeah, yet again. Who knows? But I'm going to go with the Patriots.
I was being divisive. I picked the Texans. I was like, oh, Ricky picked the Patriots. Yeah, I'll go the other way.
This game was easy. The next two were easy for me to pick, Dave.
Well, yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa against the Broncos. Yep. Tua is getting 3.5 points via Vegas. Not even the Dolphins, Dave. Tua is getting those 3.5 points.
I don't understand this one at all.
Tua wins. Tua keeps churning. Dolphins for the playoffs.
And they get points? Yes. 100%. That's a no-brainer. Dolphins win this one. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Dolphins can slow start it. It could be one of those situations where or Drew Lock could make a comeback attempt at the end of the game. But I got the Dolphins winning this one.
I want the Dolphins to win too because I want them to make the playoffs and sneak in there with no help to the NFL. Then new haircut or not, Dave. Rookie quarterback or 5-star on Rivals.com, Justin Herbert, going up against I almost said the Jets. Going up against the Jets. Chargers are 9.5-point favorites, Dave. I could not type the Chargers in quick enough on our pick sheet.
Yeah, I mean, it's Herbert. The haircut kills me though. It really does. I don't know how you do that to yourself.
Here's the question. If you were a football player, would you let the strength and conditioning coach cut your hair?
Not a fucking chance.
Because the things I love is, I think it was Dan Orlowski said it looks like a military haircut. Like the one that you'd get in the military. And then Keyshawn, I used the joke that he did. He goes, it looks like the fucking profile picture you see on Rivals.com of the 5-star kid in high school.
It does.
But the Chargers win this one. If you're in elimination pool still and you haven't picked the Chargers yet and you haven't just been picking whoever the Jets play, go ahead and pick the Chargers. They're going to win this week. Then, Dave, a tough pick for some, but not a tough pick for me. Packers, Colts. Colts are 1.5-point favorite. Who you going with?
I'm taking the Packers. The concern, obviously, is out of the wide receiver room. Mm-hmm. We don't know if everybody's going to be healthy. There are a lot of question marks there. But on the upside, Aaron Jones, Rodgers, Packers win.
Yeah, this is one Packers all the way. Aaron Rodgers, two things about Aaron Rodgers. When he loses a game or his team does not look the best in a game, he'll come back. He'll turn it up. They did not look great against the Jaguars. Yes, this Colts defense is a good one, but if they keep Hines and Taylor, more Hines, in check, then
every week I come in here and tell you, what about Taylor?
I'm not going to hear it, Dave. He's a rookie. We're going to wait. The development needs to happen.
Who is he?
He's a running back. Richardson. He is not, Dave. He is not Trent Richardson.
Well, then why do the stats tell me he's Trent Richardson?
I mean, he's having a low rookie year. We're gonna wait and see. Come at me next year, and then we'll have the Trent Richardson discussion for Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, Packers with the win. Then Dave, another easy game. Cowboys Vikings. I didn't expect the Vikings to get a win on Monday Night Football. Am I complaining? No, I'm not. Kirk Cousins is now, I think, 1-9 on Monday Night Football games, which to me was like, oh, geez, Kirk. But the Vikings, -7 against the Cowboys. If the Vikings lose this game, just quit the season. Just quit the season.
Somehow worse.
You lose to the Jets or you lose to the Cowboys, and your season's over. Just rack it up.
Big agree from me here. The Vikings, Dalvin Cook will get back on track. You'll be up against a team that doesn't have a good defense again. So you guys should have no problem churning through the shithole that is the Cowboys at this point of the season. Best of luck to the Cowboys getting a new quarterback in the draft, or I'm not saying you have to, but there are some up there. Or you can go get yourself some more help on the defensive end because Lord knows you need it. And resign Dak for about $1 billion.
Yeah, that's what I would do. The latter. Sign Dak, get defense.
Dak for about $500 million,
the Sunday night, the last two games, primetime games, Dave. The Sunday night game, the Chiefs going into the black hole of Vegas and playing the Vegas Raiders. Chiefs are an 8.5 point favorite. Who are you going with?
It's revenge. Chiefs have to win this one. Are you telling me on a fast field with no weather conditions that we're not going to see Tyreek Hill fly like 40 miles an hour? Just woo! It's happening. The Chiefs are gonna throw the ball all over them.
The Raiders. This is the game that proves: are you a good team, or you just got lucky against bad teams? Their last three, they're like, wow, they're on a 3-game win streak. They've actually won 4 of the last 5. That fourth win would be that revenge game, Dave. The fucking Chiefs that they beat 40-32 way back at the beginning of October. But you played but you played the Browns, the Chargers, the Broncos in your last 3. Those are not Chief-worthy opponents. I'm going with the Chiefs in this one too. However, I think this one could be close down the line. Like, there's a chance the Raiders play up for this one, being at home. But I got to go with the Chiefs. I can't go against them. And then, Dave, my hardest pick of the week. I don't even think I put this one, and I think it was besides the bad games, this is the only one between good teams that I didn't know where to pick because. So we got Rams-Bucks in Tampa on Monday night. Buccaneers are a 4-point favorite. There's a part of me that just wants to go Tampa Bay. Wants to go easy, keep it simple, stupid, going with with Tom Brady and the Bucks. But the Rams do have a good defense. I think the Rams do enough in this game to slow down the Buccaneer offense. I think Jared Goff does enough to help the offense get cooking. I'm actually going to go with the Rams in this one on an upset.
You see what those Bucks did last week?
I've also seen what they've done in other weeks. That's the thing about this Bucks team, where it's which Bucks team am I going to get week in and week out? Sometimes they look really good. Sometimes they look like not so good, and sometimes the not so goods come out with a win.
I'll take the Bucks. This is don't overthink it situation. You just take the smart team here. They're the better team on paper. They're the better team on the field. Take the GOAT.
Yeah, that's one that might come back and bite me in the old rumperooski. In the tuchus, Dave. That's a good word for it. But that's going to do it. That's our picks for Week 11. Let us know what you guys think down below for the NFL. Also, if you have any fantasy questions, just hit us up on Twitter. At Ricky Widmer, at Dave_don't_tweet. He won't see it, but then I will. And then I'll ask Dave. Or at MVP_vids on Twitter. Ask us your fantasy questions, anything you got. Know that we didn't hit fantasy today because there was basketball stuff to hit as well. Remember, if you're not in the Discord, join it. It's the best community on the internet. That link down below or exclamation Discord into Twitch chat gets you that. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you go ahead and do that. You can, yet again, link down below or exclamation Patreon into Twitch chat to get that link. We're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVP vids, but we are also on YouTube at MVP Sports. I want to thank you guys for watching, listening, doing everything that you guys do. Dave and I will be back Monday for hopefully a lot of basketball. Like, hopefully people have signed. We're talking a ton of signings.
There's
But
rumors
we'll be
that
back.
Harry Giles could be a Raptor.
Oh, shit, Dave. Oh, shit. Dave could... Is that good?
Be in love with the Tampa Bay Raptors.
Would the Tampa Bay Raptors... Would you get a Giles Raptors jersey, though?
Maybe.
Dave's like, maybe. Who knows?
Him on a team with actual player development? Are you kidding me? That would be amazing.
Yeah, but that's going to do it.
The first couple of his years of his career with the Kings.
Is that...
He needs a
Is that like for sure where he's going to go, or is that just leaving in the clubhouse?
It's just source close to the Raptors tell me they're heavily interested in Harrison Barnes from Joseph Zucker.
You said Harrison Barnes. Did you mean
Yeah,
Giles?
I didn't mean Harrison Barnes.
I was like, he said Barnes. Did you mean Giles? But yeah, we'll talk about all that on Monday. But as always, have a good day, everybody.